Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Brian and Jim here with Drink a Beer and Play a Game, and welcome to another episode of the Power Hour.
Yes, hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 153. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hope you're all doing well. Want to give a quick shout out to our guest from last week, Travis Lee from the Roast Mortem cast. But speaking of guests, we have guests this week as well. We have Wes and Rob from Gaming Off the Grid. Guys, how you doing?
How you doing? Thanks for having us.
Doing well. How you doing? I'm glad to be here, and we are just blessed to be your 153rd. I mean, that's a special number.
Yeah, that's a number we'll never forget.
We might get it tattooed on our somewhere
on our butts.
Yeah.
We saved it just for you, really. All these years ago, we're like, man, when we hit this point, we gotta get to this.
This is the turning point.
And for anyone out there, and you'd be a fool not to know these guys, all their links are below. But before we go any further, Wes, Rob, shout out, where can everyone find you? Where should they find you? And how should they subscribe?
Wow. Gaming Off the Grid in all the places, I guess, would be the best way to say it. I mean, our main juice is YouTube. But I think we have a TikTok. The only thing we haven't explored yet is OnlyFans, but I mean, there's a probability.
But we're talking about it, you know, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. YouTube's our main. Put out, what, 4 videos a week?
Yeah, I think 4 to 5 videos a week, and a live stream Sunday nights, and those get pretty rowdy. So
yeah, it's off the chains every time we live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are pumping out great content, and as of this video, make sure to check out their February recap. It's a great video.
Hell
it's a great
yeah.
series, calling out other channels, some of their favorite games of the month, their beer of the month, and obviously, if you're a fan of our channel, Beer and Games, obviously, we share a lot of similarities, and these are brothers from another mother. So, guys, I have to start off with, do love your channel, but what are you drinking with us tonight?
Oh, wow. Okay.
A local brew.
Yeah.
It's from Exile Brewing in Des Moines, which is maybe top 5 Des Moines brewery.
They used to be up there. They kind of slipped a little bit. But we're drinking the Hannah, which is a Hefeweizen by them. And I will say it's one of their best beers.
Yep. So.
Okay. So, Chambers, what you got?
So I am going to murder this, as I always do.
Is it another German name you can't pronounce? God
yes,
damn
it is, Brian. So, from the Herrenbrau brewery, I am drinking
What was that?
the Herrenbrau. I'm drinking the Zwickel Caliber. It is natural brass and Heffenund unfiltered. And then a whole bunch of more stuff, but I can't read. But it is 5%. So
Yeah, so it's probably a Heffy like we're drinking.
Nice.
It's probably better.
Whoa, that's freaking cool.
yeah, this came from a what do you call it? There is a they call it like a 12 beers of Christmas pack that I got over the Christmas break.
Over the Christmas.
I was originally going to do like a video a day opening it, and then I got really lazy, so it just became podcast fodder.
Nice. Yeah, I'm sticking with the good old US of A, like the boys' gym. So we're not supporting Germany. I'm going with the PA brew here from New Trail Brewing, the Flint Hazy IPA.
The Larry Flint.
Nice.
Yep. Comes in at
Michigan.
6.5%, and this is, I don't know if you guys get a lot of these out there. This is like the latest, I'll call it like the hot girl of the month, where it's the brewery everyone in PA is talking about. It's getting a ton of attention.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I don't see the hype yet. Like,
Yeah.
I tried like 4 of their beers, and I'm like, I'm waiting for that one that makes me go, oh, this is like the best brewery. I don't see the hype. And I know everything gets hyped, like video games as well. But yeah, I don't know. Do you guys get a lot of those out there? Like,
You know what I seem to think in our area is, you know, it's a pretty decent beer scene. We have Toppling Goliath in Iowa, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with that brewery. I hope so. Anyways,
they're one of the biggest.
And they've stayed consistent. But a lot of times, I've found our breweries come out of the gates just swinging, and right away you're like, these guys are great. And then they just plateau and flatline. And they stick with 3 or 4 staple brews, and sometimes those even get worse, and they get more focused on the restaurant side. So, right now in Iowa, I'd say Toppling Goliath, Barntown Brewing are kind of
those are the
2
top.
hot, the hot ones. Confluence is pretty good. Exile's okay, but
I will say that like when a local brewery pops up and there's like hype around them in our area, I'm always late to the party. Like I wait for like the hype to like settle, and then I'll go check them out once they've figured things out, and it's usually hit and miss.
Well,
you know?
I mean, the old adage, you never want to be the first to the party, and you never want to be the last one to leave, and that's how Robert operates.
Yeah, for breweries.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I mean, so you guys, I love the fact that we can talk legit beers with you guys. You know, one of the things I noticed with Philly and our area is one of the breweries came out with like the milkshake IPA, and now that's becoming such a staple like across the country. And like, have you had any like styled beers that came out that were like they were trying to be super niche like that, or is it kind of like what we're seeing, which is every brewery just has to come out with like 13 different hazy IPAs?
Yeah, I feel like everyone's following a trend, you know. It was the hazy IPAs, and now it's kind of like the smoothie sours, and now it's, which I'm a huge fan of the smoothie sours if they're done right. And I feel like it's just this trend. I don't know if there's any like.
Yeah, I mean, we had a good sour thing going on. Pardon me, guys. For a little while, but I think we're seeing a lot of the same stuff, the hazy IPAs, the double IPAs, things like that. And I don't know about you guys, but I just go through ebbs and flows, and sometimes it's seasonality, but sometimes it's just like, you know,
you get burnt out.
Here lately, I've just am to the point, not that I don't like sours, but I don't want another sour right now.
See,
I just
and that's
don't.
weird because I'm on like a sour kick.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, let's drink sours, and he's like, no, let's not drink sours.
And he's an IPA guy, and I'm on an IPA kick, and I tend to not go that way, but it just, you got first world problems of beer fans.
Yeah, that's
Dude, well, that's Jim to a T. I mean, I've always been the like a heavier stout guy. Jim like recently became a sour guy, but it is funny because we've talked with a bunch of different brewmasters and brewery heads, and a lot of them kind of admit they're like, right now, hazy IPAs, like that's the thing, and sours, like everyone's trying to dip their toe into making sours. It's a weird thing, and I'm all over the place, just like US. Like I want to try a whole bunch of different beers. IPAs. When we started this site, we were like, I don't know why you just want to basically taste pine. But like, we didn't get it. We're like, why do people love it so much? And now, like, it's the most common beer out there, and that's why we actually started last year, the No IPA May, just to give a whole month to say, we're just showcasing every other good beer style.
Other beer styles.
There's too many damn IPAs
well,
at this point.
I kind of see why sours are taking off recently is because I feel like sours are more for the masses, especially like smoothie sours and stuff like that, because you drink it and you're like, this isn't beer. Like, it's a beer that a lot of people would enjoy instead of just like the piney IPA or the heavy stout or, you know.
Yeah, you can make it sweeter. You can make it, put the lactose in there. Like,
Yeah.
You can do everything you can to make it not like taste like a tree's asshole. So it's definitely way more accessible.
Now, you guys, like I said, I did mention you were talking in your one video. You have the specialty beers that are saved for episodes, and then your kind of goodies for just whenever. Do you run into this rut, and it could kind of fall into video games too, where you almost can't turn off your critical brain of a beer because of this page and because of this site? Like, you guys are almost always on, like you said, you're churning out content. Like, when was the last time you tried a brand new beer and said, I'm not even going to bring this up on the site, I'm just going to strictly enjoy it?
Oh, that's tough, especially when it comes to craft beer.
We've had some that was so good that, it came in, we either only got 2 at a local bottle shop or a restaurant or brew house, and or we got 4 of them and accidentally had them before we got.
Yeah, we've done that because it's so good.
But
yeah,
but we also really enjoy like cheap beer. Like, our go-to beer is like Miller High Life.
Miller High Life.
So like,
nice.
When we drink stuff like that, we just enjoy it. So it's like we go back and forth. It all depends, really. It all depends.
So when you guys are playing shows in the band, is the Miller High Life the one that you go to?
High Life's usually up there. Hams,
PBR,
Rolling Rock was a club we played at a lot. They had free Rolling Rock, and
usually like dirty rock clubs, they like they just have their beer, right?
They have their $2 beer. You'll have the Narragansetts or the Ortleaves or stuff like that.
Yeah, if you play in Minnesota, you're probably getting Grain Belt.
Oh God, Grain Belt's disgusting.
You get up in the Wisconsin area, you're getting some old Milwaukee. You get down in Illinois, Chicago, like a lot of those bars, they're house beer, and usually if they're a good rock club, the bands drink for free. So a lot of old style in Chicago.
Ooh, I love old style.
And then Iowa's kind of all over the board. There's Rolling Rock places.
PBR is kind of the common.
Yeah.
Yeah, we I feel like as we started drinking, that's when the PBR, like, that was the thing. That was the cheap beer everyone talked about. And it's like everyone else, when it gets too hyped, you're like, it's fine, but we have like a bunch of local we had a bunch of local cheap beers near us, but yeah, Jim knows all too well. And we should mention to fans, on top of gaming off the grid, why don't you go ahead and throw out your band info?
Oh, okay.
You know, obviously, you guys, the music for your channel, a lot of it comes from it, but yeah, I know Jim's in a band as well, so we love throwing that out there. So where can they find you guys?
Yeah, I would say probably the easiest place. I mean, I think all the places, but Spotify. We're on Spotify.
Apple Music. We're on YouTube. Our band is called Hazer.
Yeah.
Hazer. Wes is the singer and rhythm guitar, and I'm slapping the bass, you know.
And that's actually how we met. So before the gaming stuff, it was that, and a lot of time on the road, and started this thing. So into that. Yeah, and the band's never, you know, we've played a few shows, just played one over New Year's, but we haven't got back to that the regular thing ever since the pandemic kind of hit. And then one of our best friends, who's the lead guitar player, he moved to Florida, so now we're really picking our spots, because he's a founding member, so it's got to be a big enough show to warrant him flying back for us to pick it up. So, but the channel's gotten so this is labor intensive that it's kind of filling that bucket.
This is kind of the priority right now.
But if you've ever been like, that Got G intro song is fire, who is that? That's us.
That's us.
Now, have you guys seen, what do you call it, like, a lot of the clubs go under during the pandemic? Because I know in Philly, like, there's some that closed up. A lot of them just moved on to just doing, like, DJ stuff, and they don't even want to deal with bands anymore. Or some of them will have, like, one production company that runs everything, and then they don't like your band, so you're left with, like, 2 places to play at. Not that
there was one club in our area that shut down. I don't know if it was pandemic induced or just because they were struggling for a while, and that was Vaudeville Muse. And that was like the dingy grunge small club that like every local small band would start at.
Yep.
And I love that place because it was just, you never know what you're going to get. It was dirty. But yeah, that place closed, and that was like a staple of Des Moines, so that kind of sucked. But most of the clubs are still alive here.
Yeah, Spicoli's went down.
And Waterloo.
Kind of our where the band started was up in Cedar Falls, Waterloo, Iowa, and that was probably, I mean, that was just in heavy rotation. We could always go and play at Spicoli's, and we got tons of awesome opportunities there opening for bands that we didn't even deserve to be on the bill with. And so when that went down, that was kind of a blow as well. I mean, we're still close with everybody and still doing some shows, but it's
now that the venue's gone, it sucks.
Mm-hmm. Well, fingers crossed. Seems like shit's starting to get normal. I don't know if
it does feel like it's starting.
Yeah,
but we've also been in it for what, 2 years now?
A little too long.
Yeah, it's like I'm ready to just move on.
Mm-hmm. So that's interesting. You guys met in the band, but was it just like a casual? You both were talking about video games and realized like how much you liked it. So like, what really sparked the video game tie-in for you guys?
So I think, I remember being at practice, and I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg, but I remember being at a practice and throwing out to the group that I had started building this game room that we're in right now. And I was like, I really want to start a gaming YouTube channel. And I had a lot of my stuff from when I was younger still boxed away. And so I had a good jump on things. And I was gifted from a coworker this Zenith console CRT TV, and I'm like, this is it, man. This is the turning point. Well, we had a listening session planned for they weren't the final mixes, but we thought they might be for our one of our albums that was coming out.
I think it was There's No Going Back.
Yeah, so it would have been the first one you were a part of. And Robert and I, just by our nature, we're the timely two of the band. The other two, great people, love them to death, but they will be late to their own funerals. So Robert and I got over here, and we were playing House of the Dead Overkill, the light gun game, on the Wii. And the guys were late enough, and they finally got here. We were about done with it, and we're like, no, we're finishing this out. And it was kind of at that moment, and we were drinking, I think, Miller High Life.
I think it was High Life. It was High Life.
And we kind of like, Robert has filmmaking in his background. He's been doing it since like middle school.
Yeah, I've probably been doing videos for like 12 years now.
And we just were kind of like, that was really fun. We hadn't couch co-op gamed like that for quite a while.
Yeah, because it was just all online,
And, a lot of things, when we were in the van, we had a tube TV in there with the VCR, and we had a PS2 in there, and Robert was always jamming on the PS2 when we were on the road, and so we knew the passion was there, and we had so much fun. We're like, let's bring this back. Our first proposed name was Couch Co-op Revival, because we were like, we got to bring this back.
Yeah, this Couch Co-op.
So that's where it kind of began, and then we We still have our original notes. It's like 4 pages of ideas and
just
all this stuff.
Episode ideas, what we need to get started. Like, I remember when the first couple times I came over here, we sat at like his kitchen table and just brainstorming ideas, having a few beers. And it's crazy to kind of see like how the game rooms evolved over the past like 4 years. It's crazy we've been almost doing it for 4 years. And it's just, man, time flies when you're playing video games and drinking beer.
Oh, dude, well, I mean, and that, I said it is funny, and I think you guys just mentioned in your February update, like, looking back at videos are good timestamps of
they
where
are.
you were. I mean, shit, that's what Jim and I said when we first started. It was more or less an excuse to get together, drink, play games, get away from the girlfriends. Like, hey, we got to do this thing. And we literally started with, like, the Rock Band mic on my hockey stick being held up by, like, a shoe. It was, like, the most janky shit. But it was like,
you got to start somewhere.
We got to start somewhere. And we were drinking the cheapest, shittiest beer. Like, it was just an excuse to do it and start.
Yeah.
So, it's like looking back at that and especially seeing yourself. Yeah, it is funny. Just like, oh, yeah, I can remember, like, this was this.
It's kind of like you remember, oh, we put this video out when this was happening. Like, it timestamps it for sure.
And I'm sure you guys are like this, but you look at some of your early stuff and you're like, dude. Like, I wish we could redo it. But at the same time, there is an element, if anybody watching this is thinking about it, I think the biggest thing is just start.
Yeah, just do it.
Figure it out on the fly.
Evolve as you go.
Know that your first probably, if you're gonna hit the ground running, your first 100, 50 to 100, you're probably gonna want to critique the shit out of them, maybe even delete them. But you gotta start. You gotta start.
Yeah, it's growing pains for sure. And Rob, since you were in film, like, my only editing was in our college senior design program where I used Windows Movie Maker.
Oh, wow, that's what I started with.
That was literally, I was like, oh, I kind of have an idea of how to edit.
That's just a one timeline. Like, it's so hard.
Oh, dude. You want to hear how ridiculous we were? We would record our voices and then... Or, I'm sorry, we would record the footage. I would pre-cut the video game footage and then try to record our voice over it in the time that we gave it. It was such a fucking
because it's just one timeline. Like,
I love it. I love it.
Like such a headache, and it's just like, dude, use a different program.
And I can mark like, oh, at this video I finally got this program, and then we got these mics at this, and it was just. I love seeing that. And yeah, Wes, you just pointed out perfectly. Like, to anyone who wants him, everyone who's ever asked us, it's like, just do it. If you want to do it, try it. And what will really come through is if you really enjoy it, you're going to keep doing it. Like, you're not going to worry about so much because too many people like want to be that
they want to pop. They want to pop. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh man, why ain't I taking off? It's like, because it's just not good yet, and there's also a gazillion things out there,
The market is flooded, so you got to enjoy it, but also, keep progressing and keep putting stuff out.
Yeah, it's I think that you guys are in the same spot that we are in the sense that you focus on something you love, and if the growth comes, it comes. That's awesome. If it doesn't, you're doing something with one of your boys that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. And if it pops, it pops. But you look back and you had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, like imagine like if we stop the channel now, like 10 years from now, 20 years from now, we go back and watch a video. It's like, look at us. Yeah, like that's cool. Look at us.
Yeah, right. Especially when you hit your mid-30s, like Brian and I, then it's like, oh shit, I don't have any other hobbies left.
Hey, I'm there, guys. I'm as mid-30s as it gets. I'm 35.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, hey, it's the thing. It is funny, like trying to explain it, but there is something that is still so fun to do it. And like I said, that you guys obviously just like us, like it's just the enjoyment of doing it. Obviously, if you didn't enjoy it, you wouldn't be doing it. But then again, it is funny to anyone who's on the out. They can't appreciate the editing time, the recording time, all that stuff.
People don't realize it. Like, people ask us, like, how much time do you put into the channel? And I go, 40 to 45 hours a week.
Yep.
Yeah. And they go, what? And it's just like, we work on it every day. Saturday, Sundays, it's all day. Like,
I think it's a lesson, though. Like, honestly, I bet your guys' lives are better for it. I feel like ours are. We've got more organized. We know how to use our time better. Yeah. It gives you something to look forward to.
It's weird saying this, but I feel like it's kind of like a purpose.
Yeah.
But it's weird saying that out loud. Like,
no, but it is in a way, and it really makes you. everybody, not everybody, I shouldn't say that, but a lot of people don't even realize how much time they actually have if they just kick it into that next gear. You can get so much done in this awesome thing called life that we have, you know? So I think you guys are probably enjoying that as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, one of the things we started this year, and I mentioned it about beer, but I said with video games, so much of the time we fall into this loop, and I don't know if you guys do, but if you're playing a casual game, are you always recording it just in case you need the footage?
Oh, no.
Okay.
We only record, we'll get screen cap of things that we need. When we started the channel, we would record everything.
Yeah.
But we've gotten to a point where we have so much that it's just like, let's just record what we need for an episode and then move on.
Like, we're starting to label and file away like
hard drives,
4 and 5 terabyte hard drives.
We have like 5 hard drives. Like, we have so much footage.
Because, like, and that's why this year we were like, let's do the level 50 club. We're just calling it that. We're saying, you know, as a guess, how many games do we think we beat in a year? I said, I think 50 games may be reasonable if you actually try. And these are really just for fun, just for, like, things that, you know, we all have shelves here, right?
Yeah.
And how many of us suffer from the thing of, like, you know you got some things on the shelves that you just haven't gotten to yet? So it's like
the backlog's insane.
Dude, it's trying to clear the back catalog, and especially like digital downloads now. When a game's like $1 that you've always wanted, you're like, of course I'm going to download it.
Yeah.
You don't get to it for a few years.
You don't get to it forever.
So like we've really pushed that. It's nice because I'm not recording the footage. It's just for fun.
You're
So
actually
it's getting us back to like that, and we're trying to get other people involved too to say like, what games haven't you got to that you can this year, and could it be 50 in a year? So, yeah.
I think it all depends on what type of game and stuff you enjoy playing, you know? Like, if you're playing a sports game, for example, you could play that game all year long, but does that count as a game that you know what I mean? Like, it depends on what kind of, or like an RPG, that would take a whole year. And
yeah,
so, but it's nice to step away and not do content, not record it, and just actually enjoy a game.
Yeah. What is the game you guys are playing right now that's like just for fun, not for a project, that's just your fun time game?
Well, the game we're playing the most, and it is for a project.
Yeah, everything's for a project.
But we are playing, we're like this close. We're working on a co-op no-death run of Contra Hardcore on the Genesis.
Oh my god.
We are this close.
Like,
guys. We are this close.
We've had it where each one of us, his no-death ran it, but the other one like got clipped somewhere.
It's a hard game.
We can, one credit clear it every time. It's just a matter of getting that perfect run. But it's also for enjoyment. I love those games and the memorization, and like, you have to be dialed in on a game like that.
What's tough about hardcore is we love the Contra series, but hardcore, like some of the boss fights, are different every time. So like, you got to be ready for everything and hope they do the right thing. Like, it's like, please be nice to it. That's what I say every time.
The games that preceded that, they've got phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, but it's always the same phases.
So you can memorize it.
In Contra Hardcore, there's like 4 options of what each boss could do in those respective phases, so they don't always react the same. So it makes it very, very tough, because we've beat the game, probably 40, 50 times, and there's still occasional things that the bosses will do that we're like, I don't think I've ever seen them do that.
They got us there? Like,
So that there's that one. On a modern side, which I don't dabble in a ton, I'm playing through Red Dead Redemption 2, to your point of a backlog situation.
Nice.
Late to the party.
I'm at a point with modern stuff that I just wait until like it starts showing up at my local pawns and stuff, and so I got Red Dead Redemption 2 for $10, and
Nice.
I'm really enjoying it. I think like, I don't know, a little over halfway through the mainline story.
Yeah.
And then I've got oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I got a franchise going that I've had for years in MLB 08 the show on PS2. So
08. It's 2022.
But
when I need to just chill, if I get off work from a rough day, man, I fire up 08 the show, and I'm living good.
Is 08 the Ryan Howard cover, or
yes, no, Ryan Howard cover.
Wow.
That's right.
yeah.
Wow, that's good knowledge.
I'm a nut where like I'll buy any game that, like, I do like the show. Like, the show is like such a good baseball series, but like any game that has a Philly sports athlete on it, I'll just buy it just to have it.
Just to have it.
And with the old sports games, you get it for $1, so it's not like it's a huge investment anyway.
Yeah.
You can
So
find
it's
it
like,
anywhere.
do I need 3 copies of Claude Giroux on NHL 13? No, but I can have it for every different system.
But I got them.
Yeah, no, Wes, you're right after us. We are commonly late adopters and wait for like a brand new game. There's maybe 2 or 3 brand new games I'll get, like, because I'm a Resident Evil fanatic. So I'll always get that brand new. And Call of Duty, it was a thing we started in college, that midnight releases. It's just the excuse to be up till 6 in the morning drinking and like you're like whatever. And then we honestly barely don't even play the game almost the rest of the year. But outside of that, yeah, I'm waiting for games to be dirt cheap. Like right now.
Well, games drop so quick, dude.
Oh, dude,
games drop so quick.
The price, anyone who pays 60 or 70 right out the gate, I'm kind of like, good for you. But at the same time,
especially if you do it multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the last game we did that with
was Dread.
Was Metroid Dread. We really had that. We just had to have that.
And oh my god, that's one of the best modern games I've played in a while. Metroid Dread was incredible.
That's on my list to play this year. We did like New Year's resolution games. That's on my list for the year.
My god,
nice.
Dude. It's I like how they kept it hard. It's retro style. It's a great game. Nice. Like I was thinking about it nonstop till we beat it.
So
how long did it take you?
Go ahead, Jim.
How long did it take us?
That's tough because we were streaming it different sessions. Probably I don't know, probably 6 to 8 hours, probably 8 maybe.
Nice.
All right, not bad. Because I saw times all over the map from like people beating it like 5 to like 15. I was like,
well, it all depends on what you want to do because we beat it and there were so many other things we didn't discover because there's like hidden things you can upgrade, missiles. Like it all depends on what you want to go for. You know, if you just want to beat it, you can beat it pretty quick, or if you just want to collect all the missiles, you know. Yeah. So that's what's cool about that game, and it's a beautiful game. The soundtrack's great.
Now,
I loved it.
You guys, since you obviously retro is your bigger thing, are you more drawn towards the games that try to take like that retro inspired? Like I think like Jim, you just beat Blasphemous, Bloodstained. Like these games are kind of like copies of the old school games. Are you more drawn towards those if you are going to go new?
It all depends, I think.
Yeah, like I mean, there's been some of those. So the Bloodstained game, the first and the one that. So Curse of the Moon is the one like the original Castlevania line, correct?
Yep.
And then was it Ritual of the Night?
Ritual of the Night.
Kind of like Symphony of the Night. Is that right?
Yep,
that's right.
So those we were way into. And then like when Blazing Chrome came out, because we're huge Contra fans, that was so good.
That game's amazing. So
that was
hard.
a big one for us. It depends if it falls in line with something we love, like
the new Tony Hawk remake. I guess that it's a remake, but we had to pick that up day one. Like that was awesome.
So if it kind of is in the vein of something we are pretty into, then yes. But we won't just grab something because that looks retro. We should try it out. You know?
Yeah.
No, I hear you. Yeah, I mean me. It's funny. Because of level 50, I have that backlog. So thanks to actually Jim's wife, I was able to secure a PS5. And one of the first games I started playing was the newer God of War.
Hell yeah!
I got it for once again like $10.
Yeah,
game's friggin' amazing, and that's like where I'm sinking all my time right now. But like just like you guys, I do have those games like my retro collection of like. I go back, rebeat it every year, but there are some of those titles that I'm trying to knock out every single retro Castlevania. Like I've already beaten out.
Oh, you're going through. You picked a franchise, and that's what we're doing with Contra.
Yeah,
and we're kind of doing that with Mario too as well. That's cool. Just pick a niche niche series.
Because it's like this will be the year of Castlevania. Next year, I know I'll pick something else. Like I know I'm not going to get into the hype train right now of Elden Ring. Like I know that's.
Dude, so many people are talking about. I haven't seen 1 second of gameplay. I don't even know what people have been talking about it in our live streams. I'm like, I have no idea and no interest.
Apparently, you just died. That's all I see. Every clip out there is just how people get ridiculously killed out of nowhere.
Well, Jim, I mean, obviously, I know you've beaten some big titles, but what are you working on right now? Because I know you're still trying to blast through still kind of big games, right?
Yeah, what do you call it? Like I haven't had a ton of time this past week to game, but I put a little bit more time into Astral Chain, so I know that one's going to take me a while.
That's a game we need to get back to, dude.
Yeah.
That game was sweet.
Yeah. And that I mean, I know the Switch is underpowered and shit like that, but they just did such a good visual style for that console. You're like, man, this game should not look this good on here.
Yeah,
so,
it looks great. That was a day one pickup for us.
What was that?
That was a day one pickup for us.
Was it? Nice.
Yeah, pretty sure we streamed that when we picked it up.
Yeah.
And then we just got distracted and haven't played it since.
It's very easy to do that.
Oh, can I also thank you guys for showing actual love to sports games? Like, I love the fact that, like, whenever you're like streaming and stuff like that, it's like NHL Hits 2003. Or,
Yes,
like,
dude.
classics.
I will say, NHL Hits, the franchise, 2002, 2003, is one of the best arcade sports games and one of the best 3-player cooperative experiences you'll ever have. Dude, playing it 3-player on the same team, holy crap.
1-player, that game's good.
Yeah.
2-player, it's pretty awesome. 3-player, best freaking co-op.
Especially if you're going for the Stanley Cup,
Yeah.
like grinding through that as a 3-player, dude, it's incredible.
It's nuts.
I still
need
don't.
another friend.
Well, I just don't get why that game. I still consider it underrated. Like why it's not.
It's for sure
like when
underrated.
everyone talks, it's always a typical Tecmo Bowl, NBA Jam, even Blitz.
Well, it's a lot
will
of
get it.
nostalgia goes into stuff, and well, during that era, there was so many midway sports games coming out.
Yeah.
Like it was like NFL Street.
Well, those were EA big.
Yeah, but still, like
The
so
arcade
many
sports
many
genre.
arcade sports were coming out at the time that things just it got burnt out. The style got burnt out.
It's kind of
So
a
a
shame
lot of stuff
we
got-
haven't seen a good like. What's that? What's that one? I don't even think it was well received. That 2K NBA game.
Oh, is that the
They
NBA
still come out, but
Playground?
they're
Yeah, the like I feel like there's not any like really super fun arcadey sports games.
The only one I can think of is for the Switch, and that's Mutant Football League.
Oh yeah.
we actually went through that for a while.
That one's really fun, but it is more. It's kind of more simmy. I mean, there is fun arcadey stuff that spices it up, and like obviously the elements and stuff. There's rumors that they're making a Mutant Hockey League remake, which would be
I actually
badass.
asked them, and they were like, "What do you call it?" They're like, "Well, if Mutant Football sells enough, what do you call it? Then we'll make Mutant Hockey." I was like, "For fuck's sake, people buy this!"
Yeah, they would, dude.
Yeah, we've been waiting to see that, but yeah, like Jim said, the fact that you guys have those sports games, I love that because they definitely don't get enough love.
We've been looking for we've been diving into all the arcade sports games looking for another 3-player co-op.
Yeah.
And none of the other games offer it. It's weird. You can do up to 4 players, but it's 2v2 or there's no story mode.
Some of the craziest shit that I have ever found in gaming. The NBA Street games, they're not 3-player on the same team, but it's 3v3. Like what the? And
It doesn't make any sense.
And then
you had it there.
the game that they allow you to do that in, NBA Street Home Court, which was PS3 360 era. You can do 3-player on the same team, but only in exhibition mode. There's no ladder system. There's no tournament. There's no.
It's just pick up and play. That's stupid.
Yeah.
I
So
wonder if
NHL
they
Hits
just,
is like an anomaly.
yeah, like I wonder. That's a really weird design decision. I wonder if they're like, well, you're never gonna get 3 people playing. I don't know. That's weird because especially
It's
with 360, you can just do it online at least.
Well, yeah, and you can do 2v2, so it can support that many users. It just.
Didn't.
It's weird because we've been diving deep trying to be like, how do we recreate this in a different sport or a different game, and we can't.
Dude, that's really weird. But do you guys have any in the future that you can leak out that you're gonna start hitting up as far as any more arcadey sports games?
Ooh, arcadey sports games.
Yeah, we've been looking for some. I don't know though. We've been really trying to find another 3-player one, and the ones I haven't really checked is like the PS2 era NBA Jam and like NBA Hoops. It was on the Dreamcast and PS2. So I gotta put those in and vet that out.
The only one I can think of that would be kind of fun to stream, and it's 3-player, but it's not arcade sports. Like it's a different 3-player experience. Is Affordable Space Adventure on the Wii U.
Yeah.
It's a puzzle game that's 3-player. It's digital download only. So get it while you can.
Yeah.
Got a year left.
It's one of the most unique experiences of doing 3-player I've ever played. It's so cool.
We'll be jamming hard on the new Strikers when that comes out
Oh,
too.
yes.
Yeah.
Mario Strikers.
Yeah, that's actually of the announcements. I think that was the one I thought sounded the coolest.
Yeah.
I hope they don't ruin it because the GameCube one's my favorite. The Wii one's all right, but they did too much. It's just.
Well, that's like all their sports games lately. Like they just throw so many gimmicks. Like with Mario Golf Rush, like they're like, oh, it's known as Rush mode. Then it makes it like a clusterfuck.
Yeah, then it's just
I
like
play a golf game. It's fine.
Yeah, you did too much to it. Keep it simple, stupid. dude.
Yep. Well, it's
Just
funny.
make it prettier. That's all I need.
Yeah, make it prettier.
Jim and I
Add more characters.
Jim and I last night just recorded a up to 8-player NES sports game. Good old California sports.
Nice.
California
Wow.
game, and it was a Patreon request, so I do want to thank you guys. But it's funny because like it seems like when we get our Patreon requests, they just want to hurt us. Like they made us do Donkey Kong 64, this like it's just
Superman
brutal
64.
games, and it's very interesting. And we love our Patreons, and I know or our patrons. And Jim, I know we do got a couple questions this week, but like I said, as a sports games, I don't know if you guys ever played that, but if you want to turn that
I've
into
never
a
played
drinking
that.
game,
Don't.
it would be the control like. And if you want to turn it into the ultimate drinking game, it would be don't look at the manual because like they have like half pipe, BMX racing, roller skating, surfing.
Oh, so it's kind of like an Olympics kind of style game where it's just different mini.
Yeah.
What does the cover of that game look like? Just help me.
Give me 1
try-
second.
The guy on the
Oh, he's gonna
he
grab
has it. It's the guy on, I'm pretty sure it's the guy on the surfboard. I'm almost positive.
So like the pink and nope, I have
Whoa.
not played that
What
one.
the
I don't
heck?
think.
That's
yeah.
a weird cover. That's
Yeah.
a weird cover. Wow.
Yep, that's the cover.
I've never played that. I've never even heard of that, to be honest. Like, that's crazy.
I would love to see you get. Like I said, the real trick is don't look at the manual and just play. And like because you have to be so precise with it that you're just gonna keep flubbing over and over. And if you like take a sip of beer every time you do, you guys will get fucked up almost immediately.
I mean, that actually sounds really fun to get a bunch of people together and be like, let's play this. Don't look it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said it's 8-player supported, but really it's one of those you lose your turn, you pass the remote over.
You pass
it.
it.
Supports up to 8
I mean,
people.
I
Cool.
really enjoy those Olympic style like mini game. There's one on the PS2 by Konami. What ESPN Track and Field.
Oh yeah.
ESPN Track and Field is. You're gonna put it in and be like, this game sucks. No, it doesn't. Dude, it's so much fun to just be like, oh, I did better than you in that.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, it's all for bragging, right? Even when it's a
It
game
is.
you guys don't care about, that's all you want is the bragging right. Like, haha, I beat you.
For sure.
I got a higher jump than you.
Dude, still to this day, Jim's proudest moment, and it's the game he loves like the most from the Dreamcast, is beating me in Typing of the Dead. I was like, I don't
Yes.
care that
That's
you can
his
type
highlight.
better than me. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah, what a nice, useful skill you have.
I practiced at work.
So, Chambers, speaking of our awesome patrons, what questions we got this week that we can answer with Wes and Rob?
Yes, patreon.com/DrinkABeerandPlayAGame, where for as little as $2 a month, you can ask a question that we'll answer on each and every single one of these Power Hour podcasts. First up, from Burn Retinas, what is your favorite performance in a movie from an athlete, and what would be the worst?
Ooh, from an athlete?
Ooh, I got one.
I instantly think of Naked Gun.
Me
Dude,
too.
I was just about to say
I stole my
OJ.
answer, you son of a bitch.
OJ and Naked
Son
Gun.
of a
That
bitch.
scene. He
Now,
kicks through the door. The hand. Then he steps into a bear trap. He falls into a wedding cake.
I like how we all thought of
Dude,
that.
as soon as he said, I said fucking OJ, and then I was like, nobody's gonna pick
dude,
that.
No joke. We were talking about Naked Gun before we got on the podcast.
Yeah.
Like that's
Shit, now I gotta think. Can we count? Can we count professional wrestlers?
Ooh,
I
I'm sure
mean,
they
they're
live.
athletic.
I mean-
they're athletic.
They live. That's like,
Oh, They Live is great. I mean,
dude, what's that Hulk Hogan movie?
No holds barred.
No Holds Barred.
Yup,
Oh, it's
that-
so
I-
Suburban
bad.
Commando.
Suburban
Yeah.
Commando's great. Actually, was that the one with Undertaker too? Wasn't he the bad
Ooh,
guy?
Undertaker's in it.
Yes, he
He's
was
the
a
bad
henchman.
guy. He has no. Yep.
What? I haven't seen
I
that.
mean-
I haven't
Oh,
seen
dude.
that.
Turtles 2. Kevin Nash is Shredder.
Yup.
I mean,
That's true.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's
Yes,
Shredder.
he is. He's Super
Um,
Shredder in that.
yep.
I'm trying to think. Did you guys
With the new
see-
Turtles, Sheamus is in that.
Seamus,
Ooh.
yeah. Did you see the newest? The fuck is it? Suicide Squad or Peacemaker with John Cena?
Haven't seen those yet.
Oh, John Cena's a Peacemaker. I've
Yeah,
heard really
like-
good things, even though I'm not a big John Cena fan.
I could care less about him, but I'll tell you what, it's actually it's funnier than it deserves to be. It's one of those I had zero expectations. I was like, God damn it, why do I like it? And the soundtrack is actually really good.
Dude, I might need to check it out now. Because I was like, John Cena, I'm going to hate it.
Damn, but I'm trying to think, like, what's another good...
What are, like, regular movies
I mean, we're
with
probably
athletes?
missing something that someone out there is going to, like, some film buff's going to be like, why didn't you mention Brian's song with Gail Sayers? You know, something like that. There's some, like, you know...
man.
I got Mars Attacks, Jim Brown.
Ooh, that is
Mars,
a good one.
That's a deep cut.
Because he's not a great actor at all, but he plays his role exceptionally well in a fantastic movie that's underrated.
What about Dan Marino and Ace Ventura?
Oh, Ace Ventura. Yeah,
We're pulling out,
I like how we're pulling out comedies, like, and then play them. Like, that's, dude, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
that movie's so
dude,
good.
it's so ridiculous. But yeah, man, it's funny. Athletes. I'm trying to think. Like, I think OJ. It's weird that we all thought that.
We all. They're good. That's because
What about a worst one though?
Okay, a worst one.
Well, I mean, we were dicking off, but I mean, those Hogan movies, come on.
Yeah, those are definitely... Dude, there's so many scenes. What's in No Holds Bars? He's shirtless, wearing short shorts, just showing off his body. Like, it's just like, why are you shirtless interrogating somebody? Like, what?
I mean, I didn't see it, but you could then go through the whole catalog of the Rock's movies, and then probably like Tooth Fairy probably wasn't too good.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's not good.
Well, I'm not a big fan of the Fast and Furious just because there's so many of them, and they're adding more wrestlers to that. Like, isn't there like another wrestler in that?
Ronda
Batista,
Rousey was in it, and then,
she's in that too. And,
yeah, like they just start adding really goofy ones. Oh, you know what? Oh fuck!
I saw a terrible movie on Netflix with John Cena. It's like this couple goes to Hawaii and John Cena crashes them, and it's just a party movie. It was terrible.
Oh wait,
Blockers, that movie, yeah, where he like
trying to stop his daughter from getting laid at a party or something.
No, this is a different movie than that. This couple goes to Hawaii to celebrate like their wedding or something, and John Cena and his girlfriend show up and just keep like partying with them and like drug them. It's terrible, dude.
This sounds like you're making this up.
No, I'm not, dude. A coworker recommended it to me, and I watched it.
And then you were like, we can't be friends?
And then we can't be friends because it was terrible.
You know what? Actually, I thought of someone who I never in a million years would I thought would have been funny, but in Guardians of the Galaxy, Batista as what's his face? Drax. Like he's stupid, but I was like, whatever.
It is weird that most of this professional athletes we're talking about are professional
wrestlers.
Yeah, they're wrestlers.
Which they're already like used to acting, so
yeah, they're already entertaining.
Yeah.
But it is weird that when you get big enough as a wrestler, you become a movie actor. Like that's a weird transition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess.
Or they at least try.
Yeah.
Or try. Yeah.
But yeah, for my worst, I guess. All right, so this is another weird deep cut, but so that movie, This Is 40 with Paul Rudd.
Ooh, I love, yeah.
Yeah, so like I watched it, I was like, all right, this is okay, but then randomly in the middle of it, when they're at like a party, like 3 flyers show up. So it's like Scott Hartnell, James Van Riemsdyk, and like some other guy. I forget which one. So I was just
weird.
Like, what the hell are these guys doing here? And like, you don't expect a lot. Like they can barely talk as is. And there's in there. I'm like, why was this in here? Like,
they were just
for these guys to randomly be here.
They were just in town the day they were shooting, and they were like, let's put you in the movie or something.
Yes, or unless Apatow was a big Flyers fan out of nowhere, and I had no idea.
He might be.
No, that is a great question, and one I definitely want to. After some research, I want to.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot we're not thinking of.
Yeah.
That was Burn Retinas, right?
Yep.
See, I didn't say G this time.
Good job, Brian. You're finally learning. Next up from Alex Perez. I'm sure you've talked about this before at some point, but how'd you guys meet?
Ooh.
We've already kind of shown you ours. Now you can show us yours.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we talked about this. We went to the same high school. Didn't know each other, but because our graduating class was like how many people, Jim? Like
at least 600, 800, something like that.
I thought it was even so big school. Didn't know each other. Went to college, and it just so happened this one chick I knew from high school knew Jim. We had kind of sat together, got on a like first day design team together. And it's funny because me, Jim, and our buddies Matt and Chris, we still are friends with today. The other person we kind of cut out, but like,
sorry, Glenn.
But like, yeah, it was
You
like
cut him out because of his name.
it was funny though, because then like we found out like where we went to the same high school. Turned out I might have hit Jim in the head with a lemon at a lunch table one time. Like,
wow,
there's
nice.
this like whole weird connection.
You're a bully.
It wasn't purposeful. But yeah, and then like basically since then, you know, we've been friends, and now we're even more connected because Jim's wife is the sister of my wife.
Whoa.
And they're, yeah, like it was a weird thing, but it was always a joke we used to say. I was like, Jim, one day you're going to become part of my family. And then,
I never
sure
said this,
enough,
by the way.
No,
I had no part of this.
So yeah, it was.
And here you are.
Here we are. Just two nerds
Wow.
drinking beers, playing games many years later. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, and you guys, you already hit it off earlier, but I was gonna ask, like, how did you guys end up, without knowing each other before? How did you end up on the same band?
Okay, so this is kind of weird. This is kind of like a Tinder thing, but there was a Facebook ad. I remember I was scrolling when I was on my work break, a Facebook ad for a bass player wanted, and for this local band, and I was like, hey, I barely play bass. I wonder if I should try auditioning for this band. And so I learned a couple songs, went to practice. Yeah, it was literally from an ad.
Nice.
We're friends from an ad.
And here's the funny part: is Ryan, our guy that I founded the band with, me and him. Ryan showed me a picture of Robert playing live with this lime green bass guitar with lime green strings, and I said, "No way, he cannot be our bass player." And Ryan's like, "Dude, don't be that way. Like, let's give him a shot." And I'm like, "Dude, no, I can't."
Yeah, you were instantly against me, still is, but I stuck my way in.
Yeah, and here we are.
My lime green bass is practice bass only. I've learned my lesson, but back then I was like 19, 20. I didn't know anything about tone, sound. I was just like, this looks cool. I'm gonna play it. You know?
Now, do you keep the green strings out of spite?
No, well, it's my practice bass, so yeah, I have.
Oh
the
no,
green
you should put the
strings.
green strings on everything at this point.
Oh, yeah, I should bring it back and be like, look what I got.
Oh, dude, you guys got to do a special video where you make Wes play it now.
Play it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, great question, Alex. So thank you, bud.
Yep. And last up from Phony Montana. Do you think movie theaters will ever make a full comeback, or will it continue to go downward like arcades?
Ooh. I mean, they're open in our area, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a niche thing. I think we're seeing, so a full comeback, I guess my answer would be probably not, but I do think we will see kind of a rise. I'm guessing, I don't know what your guys' area's like, but like barcades are taking off. Mm-hmm. I think that demographic,
Nostalgia.
our demographic is who they are going to be aimed for. So you're going to see like brewery type movie, restaurant type places that have a theater.
Yeah.
And I think that'll
So
be
it's
kind
more
of the
than
wave.
just a movie theater. It's just everything.
A full experience. Yeah,
Yeah.
2 years before the pandemic, actually, there was like 4 or 5, I'd say, near us, where they were theaters that served beer too. And to us, that was a big deal. Like PA also
was
has
cool.
some of the most ridiculous beer laws, but they loosened up, and yeah, we are starting to see like local breweries will be on tap at this place. Honestly, movies I didn't really care about, I'd be like to the wife, like, hey, let's go over there, let's so I can
Have a few
drink something
drinks.
while doing it. Like, it is a different experience. I think that too. Like, I think something like that, people are gonna want to have an excuse to go out and to maximize
Yeah, it's a good way
their
to get out of the
time.
house.
Yeah, like
It's tough though with streaming, and you can get stuff on demand now.
It's
I
too
will
easy.
say that a couple mom and pop movie theaters that have been around for a long time in the Des Moines area have closed. You know, because
that sucks. Yeah.
there's no demand for it, because they would only play a few movies and then they didn't offer anything but popcorn. And
I think there's always going to at least be a little demand there, and the reason I think that is a very unique parallel, I think. But we've created this amazing in-home experience, and it is so easy to do on a relatively low budget. But live sports still do very well, and I would argue that the experience of an NFL game is probably better at home in most cases than you go there and you don't have access to all the bells and whistles that you have at home, right? But there's still something about the connectivity and going somewhere to
Other
enjoy
people.
something. So I think I don't think they'll go away, but the question ultimately asked, will they make a resurgence? I would say negative on that, but they'll still be around in different forms and fashions. I think even some drive-thrus are coming back.
Yep.
It is fun going to the theater and enjoying a movie with an audience, because if I watch a comedy at home, I'm like, oh, that was funny, but I didn't laugh out loud. But if I'm in a theater and there's a crowd and we're laughing, I'll laugh out loud because it's
just because you hear someone else.
Because I hear someone else laugh and I peer pressure.
Like, yeah, peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
They're all looking at you. Why are you
They
laughing?
are.
You should laugh too.
I mean, and then where else are like awkward ass teenagers going to go on their first or second dates and where they're not talking?
You got to go to the theater.
You know, like that. I always looked at that
hands.
like that's the place you go with a group of like buddies or friends, or if you do have a girlfriend as a teenager, like that's going to be the thing, because that is the getaway, other than just staying home. So yeah, I hope it's not.
And it is, it is fun to go to the theater and not be on your phone. It's a good like takeaway from social media and all that stuff.
It'll come in cycles, like everything else. I think that right there, what you just said, just like. For a while there, people were like, no one's going to listen to vinyl anymore. And there's still like a market out there. So,
I love vinyl. I love vinyl.
Yeah, people want film. They want to see, like, they want to go there. They want the popcorn of this, of that. Like, shit.
They want the break. They want to get out of the house, They want to step away.
Something about the physical media as our background show. Like, we love the physical. Like, there is something to that. And I'm sure there will be generations that, as they get older, they'll appreciate it, because it is a little too easy, and sitting at home. I don't know if you guys go through the same thing. Any of your streaming services, like, oh, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch that. On a like little thumb, like how many things you just pass by?
Dude, I'll spend 30 minutes scrolling, and then be like, oh, don't have time anymore. Didn't watch a single thing.
I've done my best to hold out. Like, I don't have any streaming services except for Peacock because of
wrestling,
of WWE Network. And I don't have cable. I just get I have rabbit ears on the CRTs in here, and then out there I've got
old school.
Damn,
but
nice.
I respect it.
Well, I like simple. I like picking a movie or two that I watch for like a week, and I fall asleep to them and whatever. But I in a weird way, I kind of study them. I fully understand what I'm watching. So I've tried keeping it that way, because I remember back in the day, you'd rent a movie or two and you'd watch it all weekend. That's all you.
Yeah, that's all. Even if it sucked.
Yeah,
like Chopping Mall. And now you're wearing the shirt.
Yeah.
Well, it's just the most misleading cover ever to a goddamn movie.
Oh my God.
You're like, what the fuck does this have to do with the movie?
They're not shopping. They're not shopping.
No, and I think we're all in the same boat. The nostalgia of going to a video store, renting a game, renting a movie, having it for a limited time made you appreciate it. Shit, albums. Nobody anymore sits and listens to an entire album.
No.
Like, you're like, I'll download this one song.
Everything's about singles. Everything's about just one song. But we were talking about that a couple days ago. Like, there's no like full album experiences anymore, except for like a few select bands here and there. And it's kind of sucks, because I love albums because you put time into like the song organization. You tell a story,
And it's not a story, I don't think, of like, oh, it was better then than it is now, or it's better now than it was then. Because, guys, if we could have told ourselves what we would have access to today when we were younger, we'd be like, let's go.
Yeah, we'd shit our pants.
Yeah, we would freak out.
But then it's one of those deals when, now that you're here, you want to go
like, back.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to go back. I've been there, I've done that, but you do appreciate the essence of the time. We could talk music, wrestling, or whatever. There are things that are super important to us and you guys that one of the other parties has missed because we just didn't have access to it.
Yep.
It's not what your friends were playing or something. Now we have access to everything. But maybe it makes us appreciate those things a little bit less, So it's...
I'll put on a movie on Netflix and be on my phone and be like, okay, that was cool.
Yeah.
And then not remember anything, and it's just...
Right.
It's just the time of the era,
Yeah.
But then again, the kids will never get to experience the joy of buying an album for that one hit song they had and listening to the rest and going, man, the rest of this is dog shit.
Yeah, the rest of the album sucks. This band was a one-hit wonder.
But then there's also those albums that, the
sleepers
you dig into from back then that like front to back, had 2 or 3 radio hits, and then the whole thing is just an amazing piece of work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my big thing I'd say in life is setting like challenges, if you will. And a couple years ago, it's something I'm still doing because it'll take me forever. But one of the old like Rolling Stones like top 500 albums of all time, I can tell you more than 70% of the albums on there I've never even listened to. But I'm dedicating like I'll listen to the whole album in one sitting.
Wow.
And it's taking me forever. I'm in the like
That's
300s
sweet.
or something, but I'm just like doing it because I'm like I would never listen to these anyway, and it's introduced me to some bands and songs that like otherwise I would never in my life listen to.
That's awesome.
Well, I used to be a part of a vinyl club where they would send a vinyl a month and right to your doorstep, and I have so many vinyls where I'm like, I have no idea who this band is. I've never heard of this vinyl, but I put the vinyl on and I listen to it, and it's like, dude, this is a great album.
Yeah,
this is a great, and they like it's really cool. It like opened my eyes to like all these new bands and songs. And
dude, that excitement
sweet.
of finding a new something, a new song, or it's like both. You get pissed off. You're like, I didn't know about this for this many years,
yes.
and like, oh, cool. Now it's like open a doorway. But like yeah. There's that dichotomy of like, shit. I could just be comfortable listening to shit I like all the time, or try this new stuff. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, and that goes with video games, movies, everything we're talking about.
It applies to every type of media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think if you guys are like us, we probably appreciate certain movies from early 2000s to mid 2000s and late 90s probably more because we saw them in theaters with that group experience.
Yep.
So,
and we watched them so many times.
if you watch them now in isolation or newer generations, you're like, that movie's not that good. You're like, but yeah, it is. And you try.
But yeah, it is. But yeah, it
No,
is.
you just don't get it.
You don't get it. It's funny.
Yeah.
Dead Man on Campus is a classic.
Damn it.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
You son of a bitch, Jim.
If only my powers used were good.
No, but that, who was that from? That was from Alex?
No, that was from Funny Montana.
Funny Montana. No, but I think that is a great question, and I don't ever want to see theaters fully go away. I don't want them to be so niche that there's like one in every town. Like I want enough that if I ever truly want to go see a movie, I can just go. So
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah, but that wraps up the Patreon questions for this week. So once again, thank you to all of our patrons. $2 a month gets you access to our Patreon. $5 and up, you get game review requests and bonus episodes. Little as $1, you can check out some of our other videos that we just put out there as bonus content. So you'll get the unedited us playing California games coming up. You'll get us trying the weird soda beers, me doing the hot chip challenge, all that kind of good stuff. So
wow.
Definitely check out the Patreon and check out all the tiers. Whatever you like, we appreciate all the help. And also make sure to head over to iTunes and Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review. We will read any 5-star review put on there. Feel free to bash away. We don't care. And actually, you guys asked, and we finally set up a Discord. So link will be below to our Discord if you're into that kind of thing.
Yep. All right, gents. So we're back. How did those first beers treat you? So the Exile beer for you. What did you guys think?
It was pretty good.
solid.
We've had it a lot.
We've been down that road.
Yeah,
so
I poured another.
Yeah, it's just a good staple Hefeweizen to have around. I think you guys have probably found Hefeweizens are a very hard beer for breweries to nail.
Yeah.
So when you find a good one, it's one of my favorite styles, but it's the hardest to find a good one. Mm-hmm. And it's
this one's serviceable, but it's not my favorite Hefeweizen.
No, but it's probably a solid 7
for a local brewery. Like very well done.
Yeah, and it's a style that it's not super common for breweries to even try. So yeah, when you do find it, you're like, oh shit, this is one to hang on to.
Like when we go to like restaurants and stuff, and there's a Hefeweizen, we usually try it,
just
and then it's usually like, okay, move on.
Yeah, usually it's a letdown.
Yeah, what about you, Chambers? How was that German beer you can't pronounce?
Yeah, my Gefliegen, Fugen, Flockenfliegen. It was, yeah, it wasn't bad. Like, there's nothing special about it. Like, it's a fine wheat beer. It was super easy to drink. Went down super smooth. It was good. I have no complaints about it, but I have nothing special to say about it either. And during the first set, I also drank a New Belgium Summer Bliss, which is a nice, very citrusy, slightly on the hazy side, but it's a nice tropical wheat, and The citrus really comes through strong there, but it's a tasty boy.
Good summer beer.
Yeah,
You're too
now
deep.
It
You're
actually
too
is
deep.
from the summer. It's a little old. And I got a couple Coors Lights to hold me over for the rest of the night.
All right.
Wow.
Nice.
And a Coors Light flag behind you.
Oh no, he's
Sir,
got the good old
Keystone.
Oh,
Keystone.
Keystone Light, worse. That's worse than Coors Light.
That's like the bottom of all the barrels of Coors Light. But like when I go to the shore with my brother, we go through. Well, back in the day, we used to go through a lot more, but we'll basically buy a couple cases of Keystone to last us the week because we always have like a dual family vacation together. So
I don't think I've ever had Keystone Light.
Don't do it.
do it. Imagine Coors Light, but just a little crappier. That's all.
I don't.
A little
I'll
crappier.
just pick up something else.
Yeah.
If you want 36 delicious beers for $17, Brian, I don't know how, where else
It's
you
like
can go with that.
it's basically like Coors Light farted into a glass of water. Like, come on, let's grow up here. That
Yeah,
shit
but if
is-
I'm gonna buy a Dirty 30, it's gonna be like Old Mill or Hams
yeah,
or something.
you guys get hams regularly. It's funny.
I
As soon
love
as you said
hams.
ham, I was like, we did a power hour drinking every time we did
Every
a different
minute.
80s and 70s beer commercial. And dude, like some of those old commercials, my God. And I'm like, I need to, like, unfortunately, half of them, I don't even know if they're still around, but some parts, like you guys got ham, we can't find it here. So I'm like, I just
Weird.
want
Like,
it.
I need that beer from the land of the sky blue water.
Yeah,
Exactly. Oh, dude,
So,
those old commercials were hilarious.
If you guys ever get over into our area, we have a place we need to take you. It'd be a real treat. So it's tied to it's called the Bait Shop. Is the place. It's El Bait Shop.
Yep.
It's got the most handles in town, but the main restaurant is called the High Life Lounge, and it's all like the menus like meatloaf, spam, egg and cheese sandwiches, like
Casserole.
Yeah, but the tappers in the High Life side is all beers brewed before 79 and prior.
Really?
So
Shit.
it's Old Mill, Hams, Schlitz, Grain Belt, High Life, and that's all they have on
Dude,
that side.
Dude,
That's awesome.
High Life Lounge is one of my favorite places in Des Moines. It's so good.
Their bacon wrapped tater tots made it on like diners, drive-ins, and dives
Yeah.
at one point. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's one of my finding
Comfort
places
food.
like that, dude. Number one, perfect hangover food, and it is like, yeah, you're not going there for some fancy shit. You're going there like
No,
to
and
just-
it's cheap. You walk in, there's wood paneling. It feels like you're walking into the 70s when you walk in there.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is like right next door, like through a tunnel, it's a different world.
beer heaven.
Yeah, you got fucking 200 taps of different craft beer from Iowa. Like it's crazy.
You can get a slab of gnarly meatloaf, crinkle cut fries, coleslaw, and a glass of freaking hams for like under $10.
that's what I was gonna say. Like the quantity is probably like, how is this even happening?
I walk out of there so stuffed all the time. It's so good.
Yeah, definitely. If we ever come up there, we're definitely gonna check that. I mean, those are a type of place for us. Like you said, diner, and Jim and I, like the East Coast has our thing with like the late night diners, and that's something. If there's anything I do miss about the staying out to 3 or 4 in the morning, drinking
Is
your ass off,
diners.
is the diner experience.
The 4 a.m.
Well, dude,
diner
I feel
run.
like
Yeah.
I feel like all that stuff's gone now because
Yeah.
of COVID. Everything closes. There's nothing open anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, just going in and just eating the shittiest of shit with people who are cooking it don't give a rat's ass.
Dude,
oh yeah.
Going to a Waffle House, they're smoking cigarettes, they're ashing it into your pancakes. You know?
That's living. That
Yep.
is living.
That's an experience you gotta live to understand it.
yeah, exactly.
One of our finest bachelor parties, what do you call it? We went to a Waffle House at like 4 a.m. and we're basically like sitting there across from like the strippers we had just seen. And like they
Oh,
just
we
got all
walked
there
in.
eating.
They're like, "You're not us." We're like, "We know." Yeah,
We know.
yeah. In the middle of nowhere, Tennessee. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah,
So you guys are both in Philly now?
yeah. So, we're like, we always say Philly for the sake of it, but like we're right in the suburbs of Philly. But we both grew up in Philly proper. And
Okay.
Sweet.
yeah,
Yeah, we're only
I
like
don't
10
think
minutes
I've-
from each other. So
I don't think I've ever been to Philly,
when you come, hit us up. We'll show you around.
but
Yeah.
I love It's Always Sunny.
Dude, well, you know what's funny? Philly used to have like the most, I'd say, common, like it's just a dirtbag town, like a lot of big cities, and then it actually has gotten much better. And from a beer scene and like food scene, like we've upped our game. You're not definitely going to get murdered now when you walk around.
You're not definitely going to get
There's
murdered.
not quite as many crackheads, but it's like it's gotten so much better. But like a lot of places, like everywhere else, got fucked up with COVID and everything else going on. But yeah, definitely. I know you guys. I know you go to a lot of conventions, but if you ever do make it out to like a Too Many Games, we'll have to take you out.
Dude, that's on our bucket list. That's
so
on our bucket
that
list.
is a high probability this year actually, because we've been trying to like check out like all the mainline ones, and that's when we haven't hit.
Yeah,
and we just went to
Siege last year.
Siege, so we did really like it, but we haven't been to Too Many Games. We haven't been to Retropalooza
In Texas.
I want to get to Retropalooza.
Yeah.
Dude,
those are two that
we went to PRGE 2019. That was fun.
Nice.
Portland's sweet.
So Too Many Games and Retropalooza are kind of on our bucket list this year. So hopefully we can get it done.
Yeah, and definitely if we link up, we're gonna do some epic drinking.
we gotta drink some beers
our
for
buddy,
sure.
our buddy Dan from Console Wars, every year, like when we meet up with him, we get way too fucked up together.
We might need to just make a battle plan, like joined hotel rooms, leave the door wide
that's
open.
Exactly
That's what we do.
and just open cooler.
Yep.
Just
Yep. You guys, we'll bring. We fly light, but we can bring some consoles, and we'll be ready
We'll
to rip.
supply plenty of beer.
Perfect.
Every 2 Many Games on blackout by like 7 o'clock, and then we still stay out until like 1 in the morning.
You may have to be
drunk
like,
and lost and go home.
that's what makes it fun. Yeah. And then going to the convention the next day hungover is so good.
oh, dude, it's yeah. You don't care. You end up, you're like, I may get something at conventions. You're like, no, I'm really just here to drink and just fuck.
Yeah, you're
around
like,
with
I don't really care.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely look forward to it. But it's funny, both you guys, everyone here so far has said what I'm about to say for that new trail beer I did, that Flint. It's fine. It's if you've ever had a hazy IPA, it's a hazy IPA. It doesn't do anything special. I decided to move on to the Spellbound Brewing's Porter aged in Palo Santo wood. I don't know what kind of wood that is.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, that sounds like it's like some sort of Mexican wood.
That's what I was thinking. So it's like
So it's gonna have like a taco taste. To it.
yeah, it's like I can't. I hate these beers that do this, but it's 6.9%. Okay, so 35 IBUs.
Okay.
The stupidest thing that I hate that beers are putting on there now is 40 SRM. Like, why do you have to tell me what color scale it's on? That's the color scale of beer.
We have not seen that in our. I've
So
never
it's
seen that
called
before.
SRM, and basically beers started. I just started noticing the last couple episodes. It's if you look at the color scale of beer, it's letting you know it's gonna be a dark beer, and you're like,
That's
what?
That's what your
That's
eyeballs
so,
are for.
That's so stupid.
I'm like, what? I don't give a shit.
SRM.
Like,
what
I'm
does
not gonna-
SRM stand for?
That I do not remember. I was like, why are you doing this? But speaking of beers, one other thing Jim and I nitpicked about is, do you guys notice the oversimplification of beer labels recently? Like the minimalist conversion.
Oh, yeah, I have noticed it, but I will say I don't know if you guys get this in your area, but we just recently got into Drecker. They're from North Dakota. Their labels and their beer. First off, their beer incredible, but the labels are so complex and crazy.
It is worth noting, every beer we've had from them, hidden in their label, is a pentagram.
Dude, every beer.
So
every beer they might, dude.
They might believe in things that we don't.
This brewery might be the devil.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they make good beer, and they're using the pick of destiny to brew it for sure.
Oh, dude, I'm looking at their labels now. The Brain Squeeze Smoothie Sour. Looks
Yeah, we have that in our fridge right now. Like,
Yeah.
dude, the labels are crazy.
I see. So, obviously, Jim and I have said this. Labels do not indicate quality, but god damn it, just like going to the video store and picking it out. Like
you're picking up
eye appeal.
It's
oh, cool. This one they put a lot of effort. I hate the labels. They're like, we're gonna be so minimalist and be like, it's just beer.
I'm not gonna pick it up.
Dude, you bring up such a great point that I've never even thought of, but now my brain is like, I'm on the hamster wheel. Like beer is our new video stores, dude.
For us,
You walk in and just you browse the shelves for
Because
looking for
a lot of
something.
times you don't know. You're just going off of whatever you see. I love this.
Yeah, dude. Jim and I have talked about like some of our favorite breweries have just went from classic, awesome, like 80s horror movie style friggin' labels to literally just a couple boring ass words and clip art. We're like, what the fuck? Like, it doesn't even look appealing.
They're just trying to simplify it.
And the video store experience is now our beer store experience. And I stand there.
We're officially old.
Yep.
Library. I'm a man of class with the books and all and the reading and stuff.
Your hentai doesn't count.
I think somehow we could
does.
get a good tagline, video title, or T-shirt out of this.
Yeah.
We just gotta think of it.
Yeah. Like.
There's something here, dude. You just lit a wick.
Dude,
you didn't even know you were doing it.
He's so excited right now.
Dude, well, like I said, it's the beer labels. It's something, and I bring it up once again. The brewers we've talked to now, granted, are the ones that still hire artists to do them legit, but they're more. I don't even know if PC is the right word, but they're like trying to toe the line to like, well, everyone has a creative decision. I'm like, or are they just being lazy and phoning in these goddamn labels?
Yeah, they probably are.
So, I think you kind of get to a deal where there's brewers and breweries where it's an art and it's a passion.
Yeah.
And if everything's aligned in that organization, it's going to traject that way. And then when it becomes an issue of just getting it out, producing it, and, I think there's breweries, everybody wants their stuff to sell, but that's, they want to put something out there proud of. Mm-hmm. And then I think there's ones that maybe get somebody who's a little too marketing in the building and it's like, well, this is what's selling for, whatever. Yeah, if you look at Bud Light, everything's simple and they sell the most beer ever. And so they go that route. And, I don't know what's right or wrong. I know we cost ourselves a lot of money out of dumb decisions we do on the channel, but we want to keep it the way we want to keep it,
Well, I've noticed two things in the beer scene. So, first off, I think because of COVID, people are starting to simplify their homes. People want that simplified look, so that maybe why is the beer thing's going.
Yeah.
But then also, we had a beer recently where we got the beer and it was a collaboration beer. And I was like, what's going on with this label? And I peeled the label off. It was a repackaged label from a different beer.
Oh, Jesus.
And they just put a wrap on it.
They just put a wrap, and I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, I was like instantly disappointed. Like, I was like, I don't even... That's stupid.
I don't get, like... You know what it is? I think there's a point to some people are trying to make their logo, their label be such a brand that they want it simple for the fact that they can throw it on anything. Whereas, like you said, Drecker, like they're going balls out.
Yeah, they're going balls deep, dude, for sure.
But like that's the thing. Like I appreciate that added effort, and that's gonna get my dollars more every time, and I'm gonna buy them. Because, like, I appreciate that. And once again, it doesn't mean they're the greatest quality. It just means, like, that.
But they are.
Some eye appeal,
It's about a holistic experience.
Yeah.
You could have the best brew you have ever had.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, if it comes in some of the coolest packaging you've ever seen, too.
That sells it.
That's just gonna hit.
Yeah.
It's just gonna hit a little better.
I mean, as long as the SRM on all these beers is correct, that's all that really fucking
The
matters.
SRM, dude. I haven't seen that in our area.
We're gonna have to keep our eyes peeled. I haven't been looking for it either.
I'm excited to the next couple episodes to review the SRM. Be like, this isn't accurate.
Yeah.
This is about 3 numbers off.
Like, IBUs, I almost kind of got, but, like, anyone who drinks enough craft beer, you're like, all right, higher IBU, it's bitter. Like, but I've never picked up a beer, but like, well, that IBU is way off. I'm not happy.
I don't look at IBUs. Who's looking at... That's so dumb.
And I would love to know how they measure that. Like, I mean, is there like a...
Dude, there's somebody that works at a brewery. That's their job. That's their job.
Yeah, or it's like a simple... in that case, I think it's almost like a pool test. Like, you dip the stick in, and it's like the pH levels and shit. I don't know.
Yeah, there's some chlorine in there.
No, but like I said, I'm curious, and I will say this porter, the smoked flavor is very minimal, but
I will say that like so I like porters and I like stouts, but when you start doing weird things to porters, it's like you should have just made this a stout.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially every stout's a porter, so you might as well just go that way anyway.
Yeah, you might as well make it a stout and then barrel age it, or then put it.
Yeah, but no, like you said, I love that I can dive deep into beer talk with you guys, because Wes, when you just said that video store thing, now I'm also thinking, like, I was overwhelmed today because I'm like, God damn it, every single beer has 13 different flavors in it too. I'm like, there is a part of me that almost wants to go, what's a more simple beer that's still a craft beer that I can try? And that's getting harder and harder because everything is like sour, with like licorice
Hazy.
taint. It's like, what the fuck? It makes no sense. So, yeah.
Tasty.
But yeah. So
Twizzler's taint.
enough beer talk for now, Jim. What topic did we have up?
All right, so
Yeah, we
first
had
up,
some topics.
So first up from Mr. Mario 11. So this is actually, I threw this on here because I was like, this is the most bizarre promotion I've ever heard for anything. So apparently in German eBay, you can enter a raffle by selling your PS4 to German eBay to have a chance to buy a PS5.
Dude,
so not a guarantee, but to have the
this is-
chance to get into a raffle to maybe get a PS5.
This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, the fact that you have to sell your modernish console for a chance.
Just a chance.
That you don't even...
It's a bad gamble.
Yeah, like, why would you do that? I'm still playing my PS4. The PS4 is awesome. Like, I have no...
I mean, I
wouldn't do it. I would not
With
do
all
it.
your listeners, not everybody's in the United States and in our neck of the woods, but I mean, $10 PS4 games and under are everywhere. Bad move.
Yeah.
And most of the PS5 games releasing are for PS4. So,
Exactly.
like...
They're just modified. They're enhanced
Exactly.
PS4 games. So,
Maybe if
may-
you have multiple PS4s and you're like,
But, like,
I can... split
like,
one."
what
how
a
is-
weird thing. Like,
How is Sony in bed with eBay?
that's the part. Like, why are they going through?
Yeah,
eBay
like,
on
who...
that?
Like,
I'm
and
curious-
why does Sony care? Like, so what Sony's wanting you to do is rid your house of a Sony console so that you have to have a Sony console. They're banking on the fact that you won't win
That's a good-
you won't win the
good
PS5,
pull.
but now you're going to be lonely.
So then you'll buy the PS5.
Yes. See, because why would you buy a PS4 if you just sold a PS4?
Because you just sold the PS4. So you want the new thing. Okay, now that we're thinking about it, that's genius marketing. They tricked us. They tricked us.
I mean, I'm just going to go out and say, best thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah, that's...
They're just like, we don't want that secondhand market to get any money. We want it all.
Yeah, it's
so
a really
weird.
weird deal, and why they isolated it. Like, I think Germany's the test market. They're like, well, we don't really want this to go out on the global scale unless it works.
Yeah, you gotta
And
start
if it
somewhere.
works, then we're going to expand this thing.
Yeah, but now that we learned that it does work, you'll sell your PS4 to get a
Yeah.
PS5, bring it to the USA, and I won't fall for it. I won't fall for it. Bring it on.
Hey, but if you're gonna test weird shit out, I guess Germany is the way to go. So,
It might be a 4D chess move too, because they are like producing like a couple million more PS4 units because they can't, like, chip shortages and all that shit. They can't even make PS5s.
Jim,
So-
listen to your logic. They're not producing; they're reselling you the shit that they're getting off eBay. Come on.
Yeah, they're reselling old cons. That's what they're doing. They're getting
I bet you look at Sony's P&L, you'll find some expenses for Armor All.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or what you don't know is they're really just taking parts away from the PS4 to make the new PS5s. It's like
Yeah,
every
there you
10.
go. Yeah.
That's such a
We need the
fucking weird
chips. That's
thing. It's a good poll, but yeah, that's I
So
would love
weird.
to, like, if our buddy Poor John, you're in Germany. I know you talk to us all the time, and I know you're a brewer out there. You're deep into gaming. Let us know if any of your buddies or anyone you know heard more about this. Is this something anyone would take
Dude,
serious?
I'm curious, like, who's doing this? Is this like a big thing?
Did
Like,
you guys get this story from, like, the National Enquirer, or is this, like, real news?
It was just like a random, like, it was a random tweet to how I found it, but like it was found,
Okay.
it was like passed around through German Twitter and like went viral like a week or so ago. And
Yeah.
then like someone like translated it for, the rest of us, and it was just like,
Yeah,
for the rest of
well,
us.
I mean, you speak German. Jim, you speak German.
I just did it fluently and perfectly. Flick a PS4. There you go.
Yeah, that's a weird one. We'll keep an eye, see if it happens in other markets, but
it'd be crazy if it blew up and spread.
that's a thing. Yeah. I mean, I guess also
Maybe it's the next COVID.
how
Yeah,
well
we'll
also
see.
like
Yeah,
how
right.
bad do you want a PS5? Because I guess in theory, how much do you think a PS4 goes for right now? Like,
In my local ponds, I'm seeing
200?
like you walk into my local ponds,
Yeah.
it's like all VCR, Xbox Ones, and PS4s. That's all that's in there, and they vary between they're like right around $250.
so it's like if somebody was desperate enough, they're like, all right, I put $250 up, I get a chance to win a PS5, maybe.
That's
I think it's a chance
gamble.
to buy a PS5.
It's a
not even
completely
to
dumb
win.
gamble.
Wait, what?
Whoa.
It's a chance to buy one?
Oh,
wait
I
a
thought
minute,
it was a
think-
chance to.
Yeah, I thought it was a chance
me
to win
double
one.
check.
If it's a chance to buy one,
Oh, then that's
fuck
even
that.
worse. So,
Wait,
no.
no,
Sell
it's to
your-
win. It's to win. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. It's to
Okay,
win.
okay. I was like, the wording's very important here.
Freaking
Yeah.
Napoleon.
Come
You
on,
better freaking-
Jim.
What? I got the Italian name. I don't know my German. What?
How you doing?
Jim.
Hey, how's your family doing? The gabagool.
Jim, you're never going to convince me you're not French. Come on. Yeah, but no, we'll follow that one up. But it's a weird little one. The next one was more interesting, and it affects us, Jim, because our yearly Call of Duty release ain't happening.
Ain't happening this year. Now,
Yeah, it's
the last
weird.
Call of Duty, I played it. We did the midnight release.
And that was it.
We played it the whole first. Well, we did the next day because we're old. But we took off work. We played the entire day, and then I have touched it like once since. So it really turns into like a night out at the bar on my couch with my buddies. So, But yeah, it's the cash cow, and the reports are there's not going to be a Call of Duty in 2023.
That's weird because Call
In
of Duty
2022 or 2020?
2023. I think it's 2023.
So it's getting delayed to 2023, correct?
Well, no, so they may still have a 2022, but
I think the
they've
2022
already
is already
said,
like in development.
yeah, whatever's for
okay.
2023 is going to get pushed to 2024.
I mean, I kind of understand. To be honest, I haven't played a Call of Duty like main storyline since like the 360.
They have this?
well,
But like Warzone is such a big thing. Like, why would I think that's the reason. I think that's
they're-
one of the reasons.
I think
is
they're tapping
Warzone.
into what they've been able to do with Warzone as maybe longer dev cycles.
It's like
and
Fortnite, dude.
Obviously, you would think the more complex shit's getting, these dev cycles should take longer. I would think to milk all the milk out of the udders, to get the games the way they want them to be. And with the continuous like updates, the worst thing that could happen to Call of Duty as a franchise is to become like the new Madden,
yeah,
where they just are regurgitating something out with a new name to cash grab.
But also, it's
I kind of respect it in the sense that like, guys, if you're gonna do that to just make sure you're putting out a quality game,
that's a good thing.
I
Yeah.
like it. No, I'm
It's also-
for it 100% because, shit, this idea of the annual game really started with sports games. Unfortunately, now wrestling games, because they're under the 2K, like they're just churned out every year, and most people complain about
and they're
them.
garbage.
Yeah, and Call of
Assassin's
Duty.
Creed's kind of in the same boat. Call of Duty's in the
Assassin's
same.
Creed had to take a break because they kept coming out and they were diminishing quality, and then people were just buying them less.
Yeah.
And like Vanguard sold like crap comparatively, so that's why they're like,
I
"Ooh."
think there's an element where companies, you can frequency is important.
It is. You got to.
But also,
be,
there's a fine line between frequency and demand. And man, if you haven't had a new Call of Duty game for 2 to 3 years, that new one becomes a big deal.
Yeah, but
you look at like everybody right now on YouTube, except for our 2 channels, is talking about this Elden Ring
That's
game.
it. Yep.
Like nobody. No, what is that? Like no one that doesn't have any draw from a franchise
and if you think
perspective,
2
right?
months out, is that going to be important? Probably not.
Probably,
Well, I don't know, but I think it could benefit them of it. Give your fans a reason to want another Call of Duty.
I mean, I will say Call of Duty's it's a double-edged sword because you want to put in a good product to make a good story. But how many people are going to play that new story versus how many people are playing Warzone? Like, it's like this double-edged sword. It's like, do we release an update for Warzone and keep like this update going, or release a new Call of Duty that has an updated Warzone and then cut off the old? Like,
that's what they're going to have to. That's what they're going to have to do.
They can't keep both Warzones alive if they have a Warzone in the new game. You know what I mean?
And that
like,
you guys hit that on the head. I mean, I think the only reason they're even considering it is that Warzone, the Fortnite, the GTA 5, like that
it's
crazy
dude,
long
dude,
like
GTA 5, the good pull, that's still thriving, and that game came out in the PS3 360 era.
Yep.
That game is thriving in 2022.
And you know what?
That's
Even
crazy.
though fans want it, you know what? They're smart, and I like the model of if the game is good enough, if you can release packages or whatever to keep it relevant, like that's
Yeah.
what I'd rather see out of wrestling and even sports games. Like you don't need a new sports game every year. Just give us the rosters of the current team.
Big picture, here's the problem. If you get nostalgic for this certain item that you have, let's say it's Warzone right now, and then wait 5 years, you're not going to be able to play that because it's been updated, it's been patched, there's no way to, that's gone forever.
That's
Fortnite,
true,
for example, you're never, nostalgia, there's going to be a group of kids that are nostalgic for this era of gaming, that it's going to be gone forever. There's not going to be any way. So we're retro gamers because we're nostalgic for all these things. It's going to be a weird demographic in a couple years. It's going to be weird.
Unfortunately, that generation, just like everything we talked about, though, music and everything's a flash. Like friggin' TikTok, everything is like, it's short, very forgettable. Like for a few weeks or so, something may get hot, and then it's forgotten. Like how many
and then it's gone.
Meme things, like how many stupid dance craze things were big a few years ago that it's not even a whisper anymore.
Nobody talks about it.
And that's unfortunately like that's the
and that's kind
of what everyone.
I mean, that's
has.
what today's society is, you know.
Yeah, and then we
microwave society.
Yep, and we hold the old guard of no, enjoy the thing, take time with it, like appreciate it, you know. But
yeah, I mean, I'm guessing you guys are probably in the same boat, but like Black Ops 2. I still have all my maps. I still have all my stuff. I've got it backed up just in case something goes down.
Well, that's so you bought maps. You bought extra maps. Think about if you bought maps for like the new Call of Duty, and then it might be gone forever. You know what I mean? Like all this.
The value of having it preserved. I mean, and we've talked game preservation many times on this channel, but like to your point, I think like somebody who wants that first map Warzone. There's no way to get
it's gone.
Back to like you can't get back to it, and that really
we have
sucks.
So many nostalgic memories. I mean, not nostalgic because it's recent, but so many memories of playing the first map of Warzone because we played it online all the time. It was so much fun.
Yeah, now it's
we'll
gone.
never be able to recreate that.
Yeah, unless you know, the only thing is you could go. I'll almost call it the Nintendo route. If these developers were smart, release a standalone game somehow and be like the original Warzone map.
That would be genius.
Yeah, or a Call of Duty Warzone game, 5-10 years down the line that has all the maps, in there, and you just play those.
Or there's somebody that brings the servers back up and they produce that. Because I know like there's some PS2 and Dreamcast stuff that's still kind of alive on servers and stuff. Because somebody's keeping it alive.
Still runs.
It's crazy.
I don't know if you guys follow all the Barstool shit. The only thing I saw that was interesting was their Barstool games where they every couple months or something they like do a call to arms of like go back on the original like Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops and try to get all their fans to join in so the servers are alive again for a night
just to
do it because
alive.
I a couple months ago played World at War from 360 Call of Duty.
Yes,
I love the shit out of that game. There was 96 people on the server. It was pathetic.
So
but like
little.
I was able to get into games. But like I'm like these servers are still up, and
they're eventually not going to be.
That's what worries me. Is like eventually they're going to go away. But they're better than who was it that we just talked about, Jim, recently that is cutting their Nintendo.
Halo 3 just went bye-bye.
Well, no, I was going to say Nintendo with the support for the eShops and
the Wii U eShop and the 3DS.
But it's like it's crazy that Call of Duty. I even played Call of Duty 1 or 2 remastered on 360. There's 12 people, but there's still a server.
Yeah, but they're still playing.
Yeah,
they're still playing.
Yes,
it's the same people, but they're still playing.
Yeah. I walked in there. I was like, "Wow, why am I getting sniped the second I wake up?"
Well, because it's the same people playing.
Those people that are still playing that, they're good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like, I like that idea. Figure out a way, let people do local servers or whatever, but sell the game, and so people can have the nostalgia again. Because that's what this generation they're gonna miss, one way or another. So, yeah. So Call of Duty, I think it is ultimately. I still think it's a good move. Improve your product, but
make a better story.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I could use a break.
Oh, shut up, Jim. God, you could use a break from what? Gaming? drinking your White Claws? Come on.
What? They're refreshing.
I don't see his hands. He's holding his wiener. Dude. He's like choking it off so he doesn't piss himself.
To be fair, that is my given. All right, that's like my natural state.
Yeah. So the last topic you have here, Jim, and this is one. I mean, obviously, the Steam Deck has caught some slack. We've already seen a lot of scumbag secondhand sellers selling that thing for what, like $1,000 or more.
What?
Oh yeah, at least. And like, there's complaints from people that like the battery will last like a half hour and then it dies on you. Which is like, oh, that's great for a portable.
But what you linked here from IGN was basically the compatibility list, which, if anybody didn't know, Steam Deck was supposed to be basically the ultimate play everything that's on Steam, and then
ultimate convenience. You have a billion games at your disposal with no problems. Blah blah blah. All of a sudden, compatibility list. It's like, wow, this really is just like having a PC.
Dude, honestly, I didn't even know the Steam Deck was out. To be honest,
it kind of came and
kind
went.
of just like
was it February 25th? I think it came out.
Yep.
You know, it looks cool. I don't think it has a large mass appeal.
Yeah.
No.
I'm guessing it can. I'm guessing the tech in it is second to none.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But honestly, I think we've played one game on Steam in our life, and it was the new Battletoads.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, Steam is such a niche community of gamers, and then getting it to go into handheld, it's like, dude, those people that are gaming on Steam in their bedrooms aren't going to go out in the public. Like, no offense to them, but like,
well, and they're not going to accept anything less than like the top level specs on anything too. So
you got to have high. It's a weird thing, but it's kind of cool they're branching into it.
Your PC, like, here's the deal. Like, I finally got a more legit PC this year. I play like the Total Warhammer games. But I go on Steam the same way I do on other digital markets, like when they have sales. And yeah, every single AAA title except for like first party Nintendo or Sony games are available on Steam. So the idea of like, if you can play any AAA game and then whatever the millions of indie developed games on Steam on the go, cool. But everyone knew, like, dude, the specs to run that, the battery life can never be that impressive. That, like, it's just not going to be that, like, I'm going to walk everywhere and play this game. No.
And play.
Yeah, you're just now you're in your bed as opposed to being at your PC screen just plugged in.
This is from someone that doesn't know a lot about Steam, but I feel like a lot of Steam is online gaming.
It can be, but there is a lot of, like, the other market is, like, indie games.
Okay.
Yeah, so you pick your poison. The thing I hate more is, like, tamper your expectations with all this shit. Every time I feel like a new handheld comes out that's not a Nintendo one, you know it's not going to be great. I think this could become better, but we said this at the very beginning of the episode. Don't be the first adopter to this shit, because you know it's not going to work.
Just wait and see, dude. Be late to the party.
It reminds me a lot of when MP3 players started becoming a big deal. And the iPod was so simple and user-friendly for everybody that picked that up. But then there were these MP3 players. Microsoft put some out. Various. They could do so much.
Jim has the Zune. That's his, like...
Yeah.
He's digging for it.
But they could...
you in the box?
Still have my box. I have a problem. I don't get rid of anything.
But they could do so much more than the iPod could do. But the Switch... it's user friendly. It like, and I get, you know, what the Steam Deck or whatever the fuck it's called. You're gonna be able to do all this stuff with it, right? You're gonna be able to do all this customization.
Yeah.
But
for a casual gamer,
I just don't think the market is there for it. I mean, you see even more complex handhelds like the Vita just fall flat on their ass.
Yeah.
And that's coming. I love the Vita.
Oh yeah.
But
it was like it was above everything at the time too.
Yeah. Dude, it was so good. But
and so, like, where the consumers go isn't always where the tech is. The Vita, like from a screen standpoint, the original LCD screen or whatever, amazing. But
I think it was
a commercial.
Yeah.
OLED. Yeah. Commercial failure.
Switch did it. Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the day, it was an OLED. That's crazy.
Why these I mean, here's the deal. There is, like you said, there's that niche crowd of, like, that appreciates the tech and all the little gizmos it can do. But just like everyone who's got an iPhone, like, I can't tell you how many people I know who always need to get the latest iPhone, but only use it for they don't even use it for more than 5% of what it can actually do.
True.
But it's the ease of the use.
There's that niche.
And then there's the people who are like, but my Android can do this and this, and everyone goes, yeah, but it's an iPhone, it's easier. Like, so the Switch is the iPhone of gaming for portable.
For sure.
Because it's Nintendo.
Exactly.
You know, Nintendo is Apple, basically, of gaming.
Exactly the same.
For sure.
And the Steam Deck, like I said, it'll be one of those consoles in history that people will look back like the Vita and be like, it was so much better technically than the Switch or its competitors.
Yeah, but like long term, is the Steam Deck gonna be a
Oh, I doubt
No,
it.
if you find a Steam Deck in a garage sale 10 years from now, is it even worth
What's
picking
it
up?
gonna be worth? Well,
Like, will you be able to? Because Steam is all online shit. You know what I mean? Like, is it even worth?
you know what? It'll be
I
the
don't know.
guys who 10 years from now are the same age as us who are looking back at retro and
Yeah,
they'll be
yeah.
like, yeah, let's look at
Let's
these.
keep the servers
Yeah,
alive.
exactly. I mean, it's kind of like the Atari Lynx or any of the other shit. Like, Nintendo is the handheld market. It always has been. There's been a bunch of things that have come in, and
DS,
technically,
Game Boy.
they're good, but Nintendo will always just outlast them. They've got that niche so marked down that you're not going to compete with them, and you got to hope you can get enough casual market. And the Steam Deck, I don't think it'll ever do it. This compatibility issue shit, it ain't going to help. But
No.
I don't know.
You
know,
do
and
you have
even
Zelda
from a-
Mobile? No? Go fuck yourself. That's what
You know, like I don't know where you guys stand on this. Like I have a DS, I have a Game Boy, had a Game Boy way back when, have a Vita, had a PSP. I would imagine that a lot of PC gamers, which I'm not, but playing on a PC will trump playing on a handheld version.
Because you get mouse, keyboard.
Yeah.
Even my Switch, our Switch, whatever. We play it on the TV most of the time. I'm just not an on the go. Like I like all the stuff, and I'm glad it can do it. It's a cool benefit, but
Yeah, but if you think about it, dude, Steam gamers, mouse and keyboard.
yeah,
You're
How can you do
trying
that
to
handheld?
convert them.
they accept nothing
How can
less.
you?
I mean, here's the deal. I don't know anyone except oddly Jim, just because he has to sit in the couch next to the wife while watching terrible TV. I said everyone else who does Switch Mobile is me, where that's what you play when you're taking a shit, like that, like you know, or like you're not like, oh, I'm going on the train today, or I'm doing this and like gonna be playing a Switch.
I mean, there is a demographic for that,
Yeah.
for sure, but it's a lot smaller. I feel like.
for sure. And yeah, Steam people, to Jim's point, they care very much. They're the ones on Twitter like,
Oh,
can
they're
you
very
believe you're not
spec.
running this game at so many frames per second? They're graphic snobs. They're the ones that are going to talk shit about all those things.
Which means they're not going to buy it.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, it appeals to me because I know how much is on the Steam, but I'm not paying anything for it. Like, fuck
No,
that.
I'm not going to get it.
So I don't get who it appeals to. It's like cool they're trying to do something, but ultimately it'll go by the wayside.
I'm guessing it's going to flop, and they'll just keep doing what they're doing. Steam on the PC.
Yeah.
you know, and there's like rumors of Sony maybe with another handheld. You know,
Really?
if that comes out and comes over the top of this thing, it's really probably going to be a problem.
Because Xbox and Microsoft aren't doing it. Like the things I've always seen now is they just have the attachments for your iPhones or Android, and with Xbox doing this shit digitally, the Xbox Game Pass and stuff in Gold, you can already play those games on your phone anyway. So they're like,
is cool.
we don't need to create an own device. Here's
Yeah, because you have the device in your pocket.
exactly,
you know?
which is the smartest thing out of all of them. Now Nintendo, they've already said like they're pretty much not making any more handhelds. It's just going to be Switch, and whatever the console is will probably always
Switch
be a
2.0.
Yeah. Which that's its own thing. You know, it may make some people sad or happy, but it makes sense for Nintendo to consolidate from going to multiple consoles to just one that can be on the go or at home. Like you know,
I mean, it's a genius idea.
yeah.
Being
And
able to
selling
play it
all
and
the
then
units.
plug it in.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like that, the Steam Deck, I'm very curious to see how it performs. I expect there to be even way more issues with this thing before we hear of it as a success. And I didn't even see like on Twitter other than people bitching, which is what Twitter is.
People are always going to bitch. People are always going to
Funhouse
bitch.
mirror.
Yeah, exactly. I am curious how it sold like this first week, but I mean, I'm sure. Like I said, I know we'll keep track of it. But yeah, maybe Germany will start a program where you sell your Steam Deck and get a PS5. I don't know.
Yeah, Steam Deck to get a PC.
Germany's got a lot of love this podcast.
Yeah, they really have.
Yeah, Jim.
Our wonderful Trout brothers. Love you.
So guys, how did you what did you switch to again? What was the next beer? Or did you stick with
No, the same one. Same one. Yep.
So
Yep.
let me ask
Yeah.
you, with that beer, is that a tried and true, like it's never going to give you that bad of a hangover, and it's just an all around
dude,
solid?
Hannah's one of our go-tos. Like it's a great introductory craft beer.
Yeah.
It's a good unique style. I love Hannah.
Yeah,
It's so good.
nice. Chambers, I know you finished your German beer. You finished your other one. What?
Coors Light, exquisite.
No, God damn it! I was just going to ask you that second one. Which one do you
the
prefer,
mountains
German
blue?
beer or that Sunrise thing?
Oh no, the Summer Bliss definitely had way more flavor out of it. So like, yeah, the German beer was fine, but no, I'll go. New Belgium's quickly becoming like one of my favorite like breweries anyway. So
They're a good staple.
Yep.
yeah, like you never go wrong with them, and like they always have variety packs, and there's
They're
always
always
something new in
safe.
there, and you're
Yeah.
always like, oh, this is also good. So
They
you
keep
don't
it
go
simple.
wrong there.
They're starting with
Yep.
their fat
It's not gonna
tire.
it's not gonna be
Yeah.
bad, but it's not gonna blow you out of the water. It's just safe.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I will say with the Spellbound Porter, other than having a slight taco flavor to their
Yes.
it was a very bland, and Spellbound is interesting, and they're in New Jersey, which New Jersey's New Jersey. But
Yep.
you know, the porter I like a little bit more robust porters. I like a little bit more of that coffee chocolate flavor.
Yep.
I will say for being 6.9%, I didn't feel it at all, which it could be
Easy
dangerous
drinker.
because it's
Yeah, it's a dangerous
very
beer.
easy to go down. And like I said, I'm on now. I'm almost done my third Flint, which, once again, it's a hazy IPA. I can't say it's great. Can't say it's bad. It's
Just
It's just
it
decent.
just is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But guys, we want to, from the bottom of our hearts, say thank you for coming on once again.
thanks for having
We
us.
have all their links below, both to their band page and to their Gaming Off the
Wow.
Grid.
To both.
Make sure check out their latest video. That's linked below as well. We appreciate you coming on. We really hope to have you on again in the future, and definitely
we would love
we
to.
want to do some legit power hour and drinking games with you guys because I know you're
yeah,
down.
I would love to.
We gotta get that done.
I'd love to do
We
that.
gotta get on our bucket list. We gotta get out to too many games. And guys, it's fun hanging out with like-minded folks, and I think we really click. And we're gonna try getting out there. And I like the talk of the co-joined hotel rooms
Oh,
and
yeah.
dumping and stomping.
Oh,
We got to get that done.
Oh yeah! So thank you guys,
Definitely.
everyone watching. Once again, if you're still with us, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. If you're listening to us on iTunes or Spotify, as Jim said, hit the subscribe. If you want to give us a 5-star rating, even if you want to bash us, we'll read whatever you write in the review. We truly, truly appreciate y'all. Have a good night, and cheers, everyone.
Cheers, guys.
Awesome.